Hey everybody, it's your girl Vocal with AJ Reese coming to you on this Thursday, just like I promised. Listen, how many of you guys know that it is important to be a man or a woman of your word? Without your word, it means absolutely nothing. And without action being put behind those words, it means absolutely nothing. So that's one of the things I always try to say to my kids. Listen, you give somebody a word, it is your job to make sure that you follow through with that. But enough about that. I wanted to come and just talk to you guys. I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope your day is going pretty good. Mine was pretty good today, so I can't complain. What I wanted to talk to you guys about today was knowing your worth. Knowing your worth. Why is that important? When we know our worth, we make wise decisions. When I looked up the word knowing or to know, it was basically telling us to have receive information. We need concrete information when we know something. So, knowing you're fully persuaded, you are convinced, you are sure as to what you're hearing, seeing, or receiving. So, I'm saying that knowing your worth is when we know our worth, we don't have to settle. We don't have to settle for things. When I tell you what's that question that's always posed a lot? It says, what would you tell your younger self that you didn't know then, but you know now? And I'm telling you, there are so many things I would tell myself. There are so many things I would have told myself that I could go back and say, or whatever, that I wish I could go back and change, but I can't. But like I said, the blessing is knowing now. I am sure now. I am convinced now. So I don't have to settle for less. I don't have to be eating the crumbs off of somebody else's table. I can sit at that table and I can have the full meal just like they can. One thing I learned and that I've seen over the years with my life, people will treat you however they perceive you to be. And it doesn't mean it's something that you've done. Sometimes people already have set up in their mind what your worth is to them. And it's just I'm stuck a little bit because I'm just like I've seen it so many times. People will sleep on you believing that you don't have anything to bring to the table. And basically sometimes I have to say, sweetie or sir, I am the table. Yeah, I am. So sometimes we will judge a book by its cover, but not really opening up the book and reading the pages in the chapters. And the bottom line is we miss our blessing because of the fact that we just have already preconceived notions about a person, place, or thing. And we come to find out we're totally wrong. Now, there are times that we can be right too about people or places and things because we can. But what I'm saying is, for the most part, I have experienced more times than not people actually realizing, like, oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And just because you feel that way about me or see me that way doesn't mean it's true. But my job isn't to try to convince you. Once you've already made up your mind about me, it's cool. But just know I've already made up my mind about how I feel about what I'm getting ready to do concerning you. So there were times in the past where I would know people didn't like me or didn't want to tolerate me or mistreat me or treated me indifferent, and I still hung around. Foolishly so. When I tell you I'm so grateful for so many things that have changed in my life, and people will become very uncomfortable with the you that's evolving, that's getting better and better and better. They become very uncomfortable. Why do they become uncomfortable is the question. Well, let me just say, one of the reasons being is because they see that you're coming into your own. They see the transformation that's taking place, and they realize that now they're intimidated because it's like, oh man, people don't mind if you do good. They just don't want you to do better than them. My job is never to compete with you or anybody else. It's not. People who know me know that I will cheer you on in your season of winning. I will never, and even when it's not your winning season, I will still be there to encourage you, push you, pump you up, let you know, guess what? God ain't done. But you know what I found also? When we know our worth, knowing our worth basically says to us in our winning season, Prep and store up like Joseph did for that season that's dry, where we don't feel like we're winning, or we feel like everything's against us and our back is against the wall and we're being pushed on every side. Store up for those moments. Don't be in that winning season just win and win and win it and forget. No, we need to be wise. And as we know our worth, we will make decisions who to associate yourself with, who's a friend, who's just a colleague in the workplace or, in the church or whatever. It doesn't matter. We have to be very, very conscious of the things that we do because these things can either make us or they can break us. Excuse me. And I say that to say people will treat us as if we're like a vehicle. Once you purchase a new vehicle, the minute you take it off the lot, the value depreciates. It does. But what I need you to understand is our value never depreciates. It never goes down. And we may have done some low down dirty things in our life. We may have done some things that we are not happy with. But guess what? That's life. That's just life. How will we learn? We always want to succeed, but we don't want to fail. No, that's all a part of the process. The failing is a part of the process. But what I'm saying to you is when you know your worth, you don't have to sit around and let people put you down or make you feel less than. You don't have to. Know who you are. Like I said, I go back. Like if I could hold a conversation with my younger self, I would say, girl, you can do anything you want. The sky is more than the limit. It is limitless. It's limitless. And God is boundless. There is no bounds. When he wants us to have what we supposed to have, he give it to us. Now we have to put the work in, but it's ours. And that's the thing. I'm like, God, I wish I knew a lot of this stuff growing up, but I didn't. I didn't always believe in myself. I remember listening to like Whitney Houston and Janet Jackson and Anita Baker and Sade and Mary J. And I used to be like, wow, I want to be just like them. I would be in the mirror and I'd be singing and just envisioning myself on stage just performing. Now, don't ask me if I can sing, so don't do that. Don't do that, but I'm just singing. I always wanted to be like somebody else instead of embracing and loving who I was. Why? Because I had no clue who I was. I didn't know. I didn't have a mother that told me, you know what, you're amazing, you're successful, you're this, you're that. No, no. As I said before, I came from a household where, I got put down a lot. I got dogged a lot for everything I did. So my self-esteem was very, very low. My self-worth was very, very low. I know some people are going to look at this video and be like, dang, she's always telling her life story or her family's business. Yeah, I am. Because at the end of the day, this is my story. I can come and talk about a lot of different stories out here, but I can't tell a story the way I can tell mine. And when I tell you when I come with the truth. I'm not coming with no prefabricated stories or trying to make myself look good or pump myself. People that know me, they know. You won't find it. I'm going to just tell it what I need to say and be done with it. So I'm saying that to say there were just tools I didn't have to know my worth. But as I began to grow older and evolve into a young woman, there were people that came alongside of my life and they began to pour into me and they began to teach me. And some don't even know they were teaching me. I would just watch them. I would see how, some of the women, would dress. And, the Bible always talks about us dressing modestly. We don't have to show all this bare skin just to get the attention to say that we're somebody. No. It doesn't matter if you're skinny, if you're fat, or you're in between. It doesn't matter. When God created us, he created us with success and love in mind. He really did. We've allowed society, people, to come and tell us we're nothing if we don't look like this. We're nothing if we don't look like that. We're nothing if we don't act like this. Or we're nothing if we don't act like that. No, 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 no. For the record, God says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. He took his time when he made us. He took his time. I don't have to look like somebody else to be somebody, baby. I know I'm somebody else. See, where I'm at now, you can never come and tell me something different. You can't. You can't, because I won't let you. I'm going to shut you down until you go have a seat. Miss Ma'am, Mr. Sir. I laugh every time at that saying. That's one of my girlfriend's sayings because she cracks me up. But I'm just saying, there were things that I would tolerate when I was younger. I no longer tolerate. I don't let somebody come and think they're going to tear me down and make me feel bad or belittle me or talk to me in a condescending tone. I will dismiss you. We're not doing this today, tomorrow, next week, next month, or in this lifetime. We're not doing it. The fact that you feel like you need to do that says a lot about you or all of what you're lacking. Because apparently you don't really have what you need, because if you did, you wouldn't have to do all of that. When you find people that feel like they have the platform to keep putting you down to make themselves feel good, that's because they don't have self-esteem. They don't have self-worth. Their value isn't there at all. Because real people are, listen, when you're fully loaded, and I'm talking about fully loaded with the goods, the gems, the pearls, the sapphires, the diamonds, the rubies, you don't need to do all that. You just sit there and glisten. Sit there and glisten. Shine. You don't have to say a word. Your presence alone speaks volumes. You know how you go to the movies and they say silence is golden? It's golden, baby. I can tell you because I'm one, baby. I will tell you. So you don't have to put up with that stuff. You don't. You don't have to settle for less. When it comes to a job, when it comes to if you want to go back to school, I remember when I made the decision to go back to school, when I decided I was going to school to get my bachelor's degree, and I was among some people of leadership. And when I said I had some news to share, and people were, around the table talking about what they were doing in the upcoming year and da 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 da. And I remember when it got to me, and I was like, I'm going back to school. And this particular person looked at me with disgust and was like, oh, really? And I was really hurt because this was a leader, somebody that I broke my neck for. And that's the only response I can get. So I'm not good enough to better my life and do better for me? Wow. Had I let that statement stop me, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I am telling you guys, whatever you put your hands to, do it. Don't look for your worth for somebody to tell you whether you're good enough to go or not. Don't place it in their hands. Know your worth for you. And I remember after I was done undergrad, and I was just so grateful because I did not think I had what it took to go to college. I didn't. I was a single mom, 2 kids who are now young men. And I waited until the oldest was in high school and the youngest was in middle going to high school. And I sat them down and I began to tell them what I was doing, and I began to tell them what I expected from them as I'm going back to school. And I did that also to model to them what success looks like. You can be a single mother. You could be a single father. You can be a single grandmother that decides she want to go back to school, or grandfather. There's no age limit to success. And nobody came along to talk me into anything. It was a decision that I made for myself. And I said, I'm going to do it. And I began to do my research. And when I found the perfect school for me, I felt so joyed. I was so overjoyed because I was just like, wow. And when it finally was a reality that I had completed that part of the task is when I was receiving my all of my materials for graduation. And God bless me. I made honor roll. I was on the honor society. A grown mother, a single mother of two young men, two black African American men. Sometimes people will look at you and where you live and already discredit you and count you out. And that's why I keep saying I am the underdog, because this underdog, God's hand has always been on me, even when I didn't realize it was. So if it wasn't for, God allowing me to really see who I was outside of where I grew up, how I grew up, what I went through, He said, I'm not done with you. There is so much more I have for you. Your future is extremely bright. So I am saying the same thing to you. Your future is bright. It is bright. Don't ever let anybody, I don't care if you got 10 kids, so what? You can be successful. You can make it happen. There is a successful destiny out there waiting for you. I don't care what your mom said or didn't say. I don't care what your dad said or didn't say. I don't care if they didn't raise you, or you grew up in foster care, or you was adopted, or you was abused all your life, or you used to do drugs. So what? You know how many recovering drug addicts that I had in class with me? And we all learned from each other. Because I didn't see them as that. But as they told their testimony, they said what they were going through. But they fought tooth and nail to get to where they are. And some of them are supervisors on jobs. So again, know your worth. Don't let a relationship dictate your worth. No. You can live in the projects. You can live in low housing, Section 8. It doesn't matter. You are successful. And if you don't believe it, I believe it for you until you get to that place where you catch up mentally and start to believe it for yourself. Start setting boundaries. Start setting yourself around people that's going places. You want people that's doing good. You do. Because that's what's going to continue to push you and pump you. Go further. Go harder. Yeah, you completed that level. Now let's go up another one. I remember when I was done undergrad, my professors came to me personally and they said, so I know you're going for your master's. I was like, well, I didn't plan on, I don't want to. They were like, no, you're going. I was like, oh gosh, wow, really? Like, but they saw something in me. So that was my next level. Was it hard? Yeah, it was hard. I cried a lot of times. I had a whole lot of meltdowns academically. I did. Working full time, going to church full time, school full time parent, single parent. Listen, a lot of weight on your shoulders. So when people say, well, I can't, yes, you can. If I made it, why can't you? You ain't no different than I am. I'm no better than you are. No better. I am stamped and approved from where the kingdom first and then in the earth. And I there are times I have to catch myself because I find at times I can get pissed when people try to treat me indifferent. But then I got to catch myself sometime and I'll be like, no, 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 no. Anika, you will not. Without Judas, Jesus wasn't getting to the cross. You need these Judases to help you get to where you are. It doesn't feel good. You think Jesus felt good in pain and tortured and beaten? No, he didn't. But he knew the bigger prize. It was for all of humanity. And I'm not trying to be, on here preaching. I'm not. I'm really not. That's not the thing. I mean, I could if I had to, but I'm not. I'm just trying to say we need these same people because this is what's going to help push us. Everybody's not going to come in, oh, baby, you are doing so good. No, we're going to have them ones. Try, please. I don't know why you're trying. Oh, well, it's a whole bunch of motivational speakers. What makes you different? Because my DNA and my cut is different. It's unique. Nobody has it. God gave me what I am and who I am. And I'm not them. I know you've heard of them, but you'll be hearing from Anika. Yep. And I'm not being arrogant or cocky. I'm not. I'm being godly confident. People will come. I've had people say stuff to me you would not believe. And I'll be like, I would never say that to somebody. I would never try to tear them down or rip them apart. If anything, I will encourage, but I had to understand there are people out here who will try to deter you. That is why it's important to know your worth. There are going to be moments when you ain't got those cheerleaders in your corner cheering you on. It's just you. So you put on that Rocky music and put them gloves on and get in that ring and finish fighting. Why? Because my worth says I'm worth everything. I'm worth having everything God says I'm supposed to have. And no demon or devil in hell won't tell me anything different. They're not. Well, I don't care if you crying. So, you know how many days I cried? And still cry? But I still slug it out. Every day I get up determined. There are days I'm tired. Attitude. We human. Sometimes we try to always put our best foot forward and make it seem like, oh no, not me. I don't have any imperfections or flaws. I don't mess up. I don't this. Child, go sit down. Go try again. We'll be right here when you get back to tell the truth. Because other than that, nobody won't hear that mess. You're going to have your moments. More times than not. But you will rise above it all. So again, back to whatever it is you're trying to do. Do it. But again, you have to be fully persuaded of who you are. Know your worth. I don't care if everybody in the room hates you. So what? There was a coworker who encouraged me over the summer. So now she says she was thinking about doing a YouTube channel. And she was like, but I get so nervous. I said, so what? So do I. Every time I do a video, I'm nervous. So the other coworker said, I can't tell. No, you're not, girl. No, you're not. No, really, I am. I am. You know how many takes I do before I get to this one? See, we don't talk about that stuff. But I'll talk about it. It don't matter. So what? But like I told her, back to what you told me, I'm going to tell you. Do it scared. So what? Do it nervous. Just do it. Just do it. Like Nike say, just do it. So I'm saying that to say, don't mind, that's my uncle calling. I'll get back to him later. But anyway, I'm saying that to say she wants to do it. So we pumped her and told her, go ahead and do it. And guess what? And I'm a supporter. I'm going to support her in her YouTube channel. Whatever it is she bringing to the table, I'm a supporter. Yup. So that's all I have for you guys. But I just wanted to stop in and let you guys know that I love you. I thank God for you. You guys really give me strength. You feed me with your comments, your feedback, everything. You just really do. So I'm grateful for that. I am. I'm so grateful. And I thank God for it. So I just want to let you guys know, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart for continuing to come on, listen, support, click like, share, and subscribe. Pass it on to others or whatever. But as we said, in the YouTube community, we're here to support one another. We are a supportive community. It's not all about a me, myself, and I. Absolutely not. I don't get down with the three, me, myself, and I. I don't do all that. No. But I am a supporter, and I will continue to support those who have other business endeavors or things that they have going on as well. So just want to let you guys know that. Thank you yet again for coming, always listening. You inspire me. You really, really do. And I thank God for it. So you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great one. The weekend is on its way. I don't know what's going on the weekend. It hasn't gotten here yet, but I'm be grateful looking forward to it. You guys do the same. But enjoy your day. Tomorrow is Funky Get Down Friday. Love you guys. God bless. Again, your girl vocal with AJ Reese. Peace.